My reaction to RWBY Volume 2, Chapter 6. Last time on RWBY, we saw Pyrrha fighting against Team Cardinal all by herself and taking them all on by herself. Then we had a match between Pyrrha and Mercury. I don't think Mercury was actually trying to beat Pyrrha. I think he was just trying to gauge her strength and find out what her semblance is. Because shortly after she used her polarity power, he forfeited the match. Meanwhile, there's a dance coming up, and Blake is not sleeping at all. Sun asks Blake out, but Blake says that she has no time and the Sun should understand why. Blake's eyes looked as though she hadn't been sleeping, and she hasn't. Her team is worried about her and they think she should go to the dance just to rest up and have some fun so that the next day they'll be able to continue their investigation well rested. They've already made some progress and now they want Blake to take it easy for just one night. After that, she can go back to investigating. They all can go back. But Blake thinks the dance is just a colossal waste of time. Meanwhile, John, for some reason, is trying to ask out Weiss when he has Pyrrha, but he thinks a lot of people are already going to try and ask Pyrrha out, and there's no way Pyrrha won't have a date to the dance. But I feel that even if Pyrrha is not an option, then he should at least go for Ruby. I thought she would be the next best choice instead of Weiss. No offense to Weiss, but Ruby is the first friend John made after he came to Beacon, so that's why I felt like it. Plus, Ruby gave him some advice the other day that helped him out, helped him be a better leader. Okay. I hope John finds out that Pyrrha wants him to ask her out, and hopefully Blake will be able to calm down and just enjoy one night before going back to investigating. Meanwhile, Cinder still has her plans in motion. She found out Pyrrha's semblance, and now she, Emerald, and Mercury are still plotting against Beacon. Not sure what they're going to do, but I hope they don't mess up the dance. Meanwhile, there's still a while to go until the Vital Festival comes, so that tournament still has to happen. I feel like that's when something big is going to happen. Maybe that's when Cinders will put her plan into action and mess up the festival. I hope not. Let's see. This is RWBY Volume 2, Chapter 6, Burning the Candle. The episode is starting right now.
There's a point where it tips, there's a point where it breaks, there's a point where it bends, and a point we just can't take anymore. There's a line up across and there's no return. There's a time and a place, no bridges left to burn anymore. We can't just wait with life to stay until they think we're ready. Our enemies are gathering, our storming, flowing down. It's time to say goodbye.
RWBY. I love that opening. Again, I said it so many times, I know.
I
Why
need
is-
you to pick a tablecloth.
What's the difference between the two?
Aren't they both the same? I don't even know why I asked.
Well, they look the same.
So, have you picked out a dress yet? What's the point? Who cares about the dance if Blake isn't going? Oh, don't worry. She's going.
How? Do you have a plan?
Weiss! I thought we agreed. No doilies. If I don't get doilies, you don't get fog machines.
Doilies.
Your dance is gonna have fog machines?
Fog machines.
We were thinking about it.
That's pretty cool.
You ladies all excited for dress up?
Yeah, right. Laugh all you want. I'll be turning heads tomorrow night. What are you two wearing?
This?
What?
Ignore him, for he knows not what he says.
You can't go out like
I may
this.
have moved
Not
to
for dance.
Bristol, but I grew up in Vacuo. It's not exactly a shirt and tie kind of place.
Yeah, we've noticed.
So, what does Blake think of all this? She's still being all, Blakey.
Obviously.
Pretty much.
I still can't think of a way to change her mind. Guys, trust me. Blake will be at the dance tomorrow.
What do you have in mind, Yang? You need to get some sleep, Blake. Your eyes are still the same. Oh, it's Yang doing it, isn't it? She is a cat. Maybe Yang. I didn't because Blake's a cat. She's totally a cat.
Hello! What do you... We need to talk.
There we go. Whoa, Ren.
Uh,
I didn't know it was that long.
huh?
Listen,
We need to talk.
Chum! Oh gosh.
Ren,
Both the blondes.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. You are one of my best friends. These past few months, I feel like we've really bonded. Even though you don't say much. I mean, you're really quiet.
Is that
To be
Ren or is it
perfectly honest,
Nora?
I don't know that much about you personally, but darn it, I consider you to be the
That's
brother
right.
I never had.
And I you.
Which is why I wanted to get your advice on girls.
Girls?
I just don't know how to girls. I guess what I'm asking is, well, how did you and Nora, you know?
What are you trying? Oh, you're trying to get changed. She's right there.
We're not actually together.
Nora, I said headphones on.
John, what is this all about?
It's Weiss. I'm completely head over heels for her, and she won't even give me a chance. She's cold, but she's also incredible. She's smart and graceful and talented. I mean, have you heard her sing?
In the trailer, I have.
I just wish she'd take me seriously, you know? I wish I could tell her how I feel without messing it all up.
Then do it.
Nora.
What?
Tell her exactly what you've just said. No ridiculous schemes, no pickup lines. Just be honest.
But what if...
John, you can't get it wrong if it's the truth.
He's really into voice,
You're right.
isn't she? Isn't he?
Thanks, Pyrrha. Good talk, Ren.
You want John to ask you out, huh?
Practice what you preach, Pyrrha.
Exactly. You want John to.
If you're going to tell me to stop, you may as well just save your breath. I don't want you to stop. I want you to slow down. We don't have the luxury to slow down. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. The necessity is stopping Torchwick. And we're going to. But first you have to sit down and listen to what I have to say.
Oh, Blake. She wants to help.
Fine. Ruby and I grew up in Patch, an island just off the coast of Vale. Our parents were huntsmen. Our dad taught at Signal, and our mom would take on missions around the kingdom.
Oh, that was
Her name was Summer Rose.
the signal.
And she was like
Summer Rose.
super mom. Baker of cookies and slayer of giant monsters. And then, one day she left for a mission and never came back. It was tough. Ruby was really torn up, but I think she was still too young to really get what was going on, you know? And my dad just kind of shut down. It wasn't long before I learned why. Summer wasn't the first love he'd lost.
Oh.
She was the second. The first was my mom. He wouldn't tell me everything,
So they're step
but I learned
siblings.
that the two of them had been on a team together with Summer and Crow, and that
And
she'd
Crow.
left me with him just after I was born.
Alright.
No one had seen her since.
Why did she leave you?
That question. Why? I didn't know the answer, but I was determined to find out. It was all I thought about. I would ask anybody I could what they knew about her. Then, one day, I found something. What I thought was a clue that could lead me to answers.
But
Or maybe even my mother. I waited for Dad to leave the house, put Ruby in a wagon, and headed out.
put Ruby in a wagon.
I must have walked for hours.
That's
I had
Ruby.
cuts and bruises, was totally exhausted,
Ah,
but I wasn't going to let anything stop
oh,
me.
that man, this is Ruby.
When we finally got there, I could barely stand. But I didn't care. I had made it.
To
And then
where?
I saw them. Those
Oh,
burning red eyes.
yikes.
There we were, a toddler asleep in the back of a wagon and a stupid girl too exhausted to even cry for help. We might as well have been served on a silver platter. But, as luck would have it,
Who's that?
our uncle showed up just in
Oh,
time.
oh, Crow.
The stubbornness should have gotten us killed that night.
Yang, I'm sorry that happened to you, and I understand what you're trying to tell me, but this is different. I'm not a child, and this isn't just a search for answers. I can't just...
I told you, I'm not telling you to stop. I haven't. To this day, I still want to know what happened to my mother and why she left me, but I will never let that search control me. We're going to find the answers we're looking for, Blake. But if we destroy ourselves in the process, then what good are we?
You don't understand. I'm the only one who can do this.
No, you don't understand. If Roman Torture walked through that door, what would you do?
I'd fight him.
You'd lose.
I can't stop him.
You can't even stop me.
Go ahead.
I'm not asking you to stop. Just please, get some rest. Not just for you, but for the people you care about.
Come on, Blake. They want to help you, Blake. Please, just listen.
And if you feel like coming out tomorrow, I'll save you a dance.
Ah, that was awesome, Yang. Finally, a strong Yang moment. Listen to what she had to say, Blake. She knows what she's talking about.
Neptune.
Oh no. Neptune.
Oh, hey, what's up?
I know this is a little unorthodox, but I wanted to ask you something.
Oh no.
Would you like to accompany me to the dance tomorrow?
Where are you, Pira? There goes. There goes. It is white. Pink red. Ooh. Hello, Yang.
Oh, you look beautiful!
Blake? Oh no, this,
Can we have a serious
this
talk about
Ruby.
how waist fights in these?
Oh, you mean the heels? No, he's going. Hey, son!
Stupid, dumb neck trap.
I knew you'd look better in the tie.
Blake! Ooh. Whoa, hello, Blake. And you look well rested now.
So, does this mean we're going together?
Technically, though my first dance is spoken for.
Please, you seem to do better now. What about John, though? Where's Pira? Ah, look at us, though. Son, do you know how to dance? Where's
I told you
where,
she would
where's
come.
he?
Mission accomplished. So, what do we do now?
Just have fun.
What's Ruby gonna do?
Does that mean I can change out of these stupid things and into my hood now?
Nope, not yet, Ruby.
Stupid lady stilts.
She loves
Not
her
enjoying yourself?
husband.
Oh, no. Everything's fine. I'm just not much of a fancy girl.
Well, you can't spend your entire life on the battlefield, even if you may want to.
Yeah, that lesson's been floating around a lot lately.
If you think about it, fighting and dancing aren't so different. Two partners interlocked. Although, one wrong move on the ballroom merely leads to a swollen foot.
Or a twisted ankle.
It's not every day that friends are able to come together like this. Time has a way of testing our bonds. But it's nights like these that can help keep them stronger than ever.
Who's Neptune?
Nights like these are ones we'll never forget.
You guys are just in time.
Emerald and
Wouldn't
Mercury.
miss it for the world.
You better not ruin this. It's done.
Whenever I think of you, how I wish you won't let go. You might be a dream come true. But what do I have to do to make you notice me?
Dear Bear. Okay, so that was Ruby Volume 2, Chapter 6. And the dance has started. I just want to hear Yang story one more time. I think I may have missed something. Patch. Okay. Summer Rose. Baker of cookies. Alright. So first her father lost Yang's mother, and then after that she met Summer Rose, who was Ruby's mother, who was also a huntress just like him. And so their father taught her signal, and Summer would go on missions, and then one day she went on a mission and never came back. She most likely died on the job. Yang went to find her mother, so at a young age, a stubborn Yang set her on a journey with Ruby with her, and they went to find her mother. In the end, they just found a group of monsters, and they would have died that day, but then Crow showed up and saved them. Her husband said Crow was also a scythe wielder, and his scythe looked just like the one Ruby made. So I guess Ruby designed her scythe after the one Crow had. Not sure how different hers is to Crow's though. So she wanted to tell Yang don't don't stop, just slow down. We all care about you. But she is no good against Torchwick if she goes out there tired. Like if Torchwick showed up at that moment, Blake would never be able to stop him. She needs some rest. She needs to take it easy for just a night. So Yang managed to convince Blake to take it easy and come to the dance. Sun and Neptune didn't have anything to wear, so Yang and Weiss had to have them get dressed. Weiss went the unorthodox way, and instead she asked Neptune to the dance when it's normally supposed to be the other way around. John is actually in love with Weiss, and Pierre told her to just tell her the truth how he really felt about her. And Nora told Pierre that she should take her own advice because she also likes John, and she wanted to tell him how she actually felt. And then and then John saw Weiss ask Neptune out, and he lost it. And so at the dance, we saw Yang, Weiss, Blake, and Sun, and Ruby, who's not comfortable in her clothing because she wears a red hood and she's not used to wearing heels. And for some reason, Neptune hasn't shown up yet. I don't know where he is. But Sun and Blake seem to be having fun together. It's kind of nice seeing Sun in a tie and all that. His tail's still showing out though, but that's okay. And I like how Blake was like, I knew you looked better in a tie. Just like when they first met, and Sun was like, I knew you looked better without the bow. So yeah, those two had fun in this, and they finally also had to take it easy. And Osprey showed up to talk to Ruby about the dance being similar to being on a battlefield. She is so used to being on a battlefield, she is not used to having fun like this. But Osprey showed her that it's not all that different. Two people doing it together, except maybe it could be a bit more consequential if she messes up. But then at the end, Mercury and Emerald showed up for the dance. I really hope they don't mess it up because this is a nice moment for Blake. They finally convinced Blake to take it easy, and if this show happens now of all times, I swear they just better be just there to engage. As much as I don't want it to happen, I prefer that over them messing it up completely. And I wonder what John and Pyrrha are going to do. I hope Pyrrha tells John how she feels, and maybe John will apologize to Pyrrha and all that. We'll have to find out next time on the third part of this. So yeah, it was nice to hear about Yang and Ruby's mothers, about how Ruby's mother was a huntress, and how Yang had a separate mother. So Ruby and Yang are actually step siblings. But I guess that explains why they both have separate last names. Okay. Mercury and Emerald are coming to the dance. I don't know if they're going to mess it up, but let's find out next time on RWBY. My reaction is now done.